Just make sure the hand model. Oh God.
You good?
I am no ground Santa. I'm bearing gifts. We came prepared for the blessing.
Let's get started. We got us a top end gasket kit here. We got us a linkage bearing kit. Got us a piston for the top end kit. Let's see here. Oh, front wheel bearing. There it is. This one is our cutoff switch. They come with supplies. We got our carb rebuild kit. Some new grips, of course, you know. The last one was not exactly fit, right? We got some, we'll get to these in a second. We got us a new drain plug. Of course, spark busters. And some triple tree mounts for them. Oh yeah, and some 3-inch bang plates. Got everything we need. Should be able to get this thing torn down, do a full rebuild with it basically from the top end. We don't really need to do anything on the bottom end, so we should be fine there. And show you guys every step of the way.
Actually,
My friends, she's all torn down. Got everything off, motor's already out. As you can see, the frame's sitting here by itself. I don't know why we did this, but the front wheel's got to come off at some point. It probably would have been easier to do it if, you know, it was still attached to it. But you know, whatever it is, we'll get there whenever we get there. See all the wonderful parts laid out here. Next steps gonna be to tear down the motor. We have a top end kit, some parts, new gaskets, and all that stuff ready to go for it. We already know, as you guys saw in the earlier episode anyway, from the milky oil anyway, so obviously we have a head gasket issue where we're getting some coolant and everything leaking into the oil. So we need to drain the rest of the oil out of this, by the way, but we'll get into the teardown next, show you guys what installation of a new top end kit looks like. Show all these wonderful people what kind of disgust we're talking about here. So this is what we're talking about having to take an angle grinder to come off, because somebody decided they were going to weld the shift lever in here. But all the gear, all the grease seems to be coming out, causing all this to gum up. You can see all the mud and everything's piled up here, which is why it's like a nice dark brown grayish color. It's good stuff.
you're gonna take a pressure wash.
Well, we're taking a good pressure wash into this.
No, I tried not to do that on the side of the mountain. You weren't there, shut up.
Oh, we didn't see you there. Oh, hi. All right, time to work on the top end kit. So we have this, some wonderful parts here. Some new gaskets, some new O-rings from Cometic. Gasket kit. To complement the Yz125 barrel. Yz125 piston, nicely. I don't know what they're doing back there, but you know, I'm just gonna keep going with it. So we also got us a nice Yz125 bearing for the crank rod, sorry, crank bearing. 2-cycle, some nice piston rings. And of course, Yz125 always goes, you know, like above and beyond with their wonderful velvet bag. Of course, you know, to house what is probably one of the most beautiful things here we're going to work on using this. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. So we're going to be working on the whole top end. All these parts are going to be going in. We're going to have to yank the top end off, pull the old piston off. replace parts, replace gaskets and all that stuff, nice O-rings and the rings and the piston top. And we'll move on to the next piece, whatever that is. Yeah. Ooh, baby. Honestly, I was expecting RTV.
You got 4 on right there. Ooh.
Yeah, there we go. We never did drain the oil.
He'll be right. We've done everything ass backwards. Why not do the oil too?
I think you literally perfectly hit the camera.
After it hit my forehead.
I was trying to deflect it down. It hit my finger. See, I'm pretty sure my finger deflected it to your forehead.
It's coming out the hose at the bottom.
All right, so Russell here's cleaning up the bottom of the motor. Well, first off, I know I said we needed to drain the oil out of it, but we didn't. And there's actually some oil trying to drip through this. Trying to drip through the paper towel now. But we're trying to get the drain plug out of the bottom right now. I don't like that face. What's that face for? Anyway, we'll get there. I bought a new drain plug with the intent that we're going to replace it. The problem with the one that's in there now is as you tighten it, gets to the bottom end, hits the crush washer, and then just skips over the bottom end of the threads. So I'm not sure if they're worn down yet or not. We're trying to see if maybe we have to take a tap and die kit to it to try to clean out the threads, if there's any metal shavings or anything like that. So we're looking to drain the oil out of it because if we do have to use a tap and die kit on it, we have to go up just to make sure all the metal shavings don't fall in the motor. So we need to turn the motor right upside down so that all of the metal shavings fall out of the motor. Shouldn't be a big deal even if they do fall in because it's a magnetic drain plug. It should catch all that stuff if the metal shavings go to the bottom. But he's just trying to make sure that there isn't any dirt that goes in there. Then we can finally replace it.
I bet you will start leaking.
Sorry, trying to leak through the paper towel over here. All right, guys. So big snag. Big snag. Talking about replacing the drain bolt here. Now this is a stock bolt. This is supposed to be one made for the stock one Yz125 motor. This, however, is the one that was inside. As you can see, they don't quite made up correctly. And the reason for that is, well, that just sort of, doesn't really hang in there very well. Part of the reason, as you can probably see right around here, right on around the side here, is that this is welded back. If you look real close, you can see one crack sitting right there. So obviously whoever used this, I guess at the time, whenever that weld was done, cracked the case, probably was leaking oil like crazy. So of course the natural solution is they want to weld it to try to bring it back, which already is a bad idea because heat, kind of applied to or extreme localized heat applied to this case, especially this close to the the gasket between the two halves of the engine case. Not a good idea. So that seal could even be bad, but we have to take a look at that. This part needs to be replaced. That's the only thing I can really say. This bolt doesn't fit correctly. They obviously used a tap and die or something like that to be able to widen the hole out, to be able to get anything to fit in there. But it doesn't work. It still doesn't seal correctly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to order a new left half, or I'm sorry, this is a right half of the engine case. We're going to get a replacement in for this. We weren't expecting to have to take the entire bottom end apart. We were hoping that we could just do a top end kit and get this thing repaired. But it's obviously going to get much more in depth. Previous owners obviously didn't really take care of this thing as well as it should have been. You know, as soon as that happened, this centerpiece should have been replaced. However, we'll get it replaced correctly. I'll get parts ordered, and we'll deal with it when we get there.